Listen, no, it's not my doppelganger, okay? It's really me. A back. Now, listen, y'all know I love talking help me topics, and this is a help me topic, but I specifically need to talk to the singles today. This has been on my heart for a few weeks, and so I am finally getting an opportunity to come on here and talk about this. So, for those of you that do not know, I have a mentoring program called Help Me Prep Academy, where I have been training women from all parts of the globe to be a kingdom wife. Anybody can be just a wife. All you need is a piece of paper. But to be a kingdom wife, a helpmeet according to Genesis 2:18, that's going to take some training. And so I train women to be suitable, adaptable, and complementary to their kings. And it's best to get that training beforehand so that, baby, when your king comes, you are not only able to enjoy him, but you are able to ward off the plot, plans, and schemes of the enemy, because you better know the enemy's coming against divine relationships and divine marriages. But for today, if I had to come up with a title for what I want to talk to you all about, it would be Learning to Live Filled Until Found. Girl, girl, that was good. Girl, say it again. That was good. Learning to live filled until found. So, in my mentoring program, we just finished reading The Five Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. Most people have heard of this book. He sold over 1 million copies of it. It's been around for years, and it is such phenomenal revelation. I mean, even if you aren't a Christian, you need to read this book. It will bring clarity and insight to not only romantic relationships, but all other relationships, parent child, work relationships, friendships, all of it. So we all have love languages. And the basic premise, in case you're not familiar, ooh, I wasn't planning to talk about this part. So there are five primary love languages, and we all have a primary and in subsets. So there is the love language of um, words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, gifts, and acts of service. Oh, snap. Look at you, girl. I did it right off the top of my head, just like that. And the basic premise is that we all have a primary love languages and things that make us feel loved. And so Dr. Chapman talks about the analogy of having a love tank, a figurative love tank that we all have, and our love tanks get filled differently. So, if your primary love languages are words of affirmation and quality time, that means you mostly feel loved when you're getting words of affirmation and people are spending time with you. And what happens in relationships in general, not just romantic, is we have a tendency to love people the way that we desire to be loved. So, if you love having quality time, the way that you tend to show your love to other people is by spending time with them. If your primary love language is gifts, those people have a tendency to be givers and give gifts to people to show them that is, how much you love them. However, it is best to love people in their love language that makes them feel special, to communicate it. And so we've been talking about this. We've got currently everybody in the program currently is single. We've had some married women that have been a part of the group, and some people have come in single, got married, got what they needed, and said deuces and rolled on. So it's really great for everybody that is there, single and divorcees, to learn about these love languages so that when they meet guys, they can start looking for signs and evidence of what his primary love languages are, so that they can start to communicate love and interest in the language that will make him most feel loved. And if you can, I would absolutely, honey, instead of trying to be Inspector Gadget, Just take the love language quiz. Google the 5 love languages quiz. It is completely free, and take it. I encourage couples to take it and find out. It's like getting the cheat code to your partner, okay? So with that being said, let me see how much time I got. I'm good. I'm good. I have somewhere to be today. All right, so one thing I've been communicating while to my mentees is telling them like, yo, you don't have to wait until you're married to have your love tank filled. And it's completely crazy to me to think that you have to have your love tank just on hold until you have a partner to fill it. That's insanity. Your single season is about preparation, and you'll be end up being surprised at how much in your marriage you'll have to pull on things that you learned in your singleness. And the reason you need to learn to fill your love tank while you are single is for the winter seasons in your marriage. Okay? So number one, if you're gonna end up being single for a long time, baby, you don't want to be out here just dry and just woe is me until your spouse comes along. No, baby, you should be filled, full, fulfilled in your singleness. You're not looking for your other half. Do you hear me? You need to be whole. And then when your person comes along, I understand the concept of like, man, your person coming along and them feeling like they're a missing piece to a puzzle. I get that. I'm not saying anything against that. However, when the two become one, this is kingdom math. It's going to be 1 + 1 = 1, not a half and a half coming together equaling one. We're doing kingdom math. 1 + 1, one whole person plus another whole person coming together equals 1. 1 + 1 = 1. That's kingdom math. So you need to be whole, and you absolutely need to have your love tank filled before this person comes along, so that in the seasons in your marriage when your spouse is not filling your love tank, you are not over there on zero and feeling like dry, and you're not going to make it because you're not getting what you need. Because there's a plethora of reasons why your spouse may not be filling your love tank. What if your spouse ends up sick and they're not able to do for you? What if your spouse is going through a rough time? I was listening to somebody yesterday, and this guy was talking about a season that he went through with his wife, where she was unable to fulfill his sexual needs, and she was in a place where she was dealing in her body with physical things. She had lost several close family members back to back to back to back to back, and she just couldn't give him what he needed. What if your spouse ends up in running into a season like that? Are you going to have animosity built up towards them because he can't fulfill your needs during that time? That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. But if you learn in your singleness how to have a full love tank, when your spouse comes along, your tank just expands, and they're able to begin to contribute to what should already be a fulfilled love tank. Do you hear me? And so, as I was talking to my mentees and thinking back through my single season of 16 years, I was noticing like I didn't even realize it until we were going over this book together. And I've read this book before, but I was noticing that, my goodness, I cultivate what I need. And that's what I want to tell you today, and I want to encourage you to do, is cultivate what you need. If your love language is quality time, cultivate what you need instead of just waiting for somebody to give you what you need and whining about what you don't have. Baby, go get it. Cultivate what you need. And I didn't realize it. Again, I didn't realize until we were going over in the book. I cultivate what I need. I did it in my singleness, and I do it now as a married woman. So one of the things that I need is, I love good conversation and communication. And when I start feeling a little dry, honey, I get on my phone. Yo, I need a girls' night, honey. I need my girls. I need some wine. I cultivate what I need. I don't sit and just whine about, well, ain't nobody call me. Did nobody invite me to nothing? I Lord, I just wish somebody knew what I needed. No, I cultivate. If that, I cultivate what I need. If let's see here. That so good conversation is something that I need, and I like quality time. Just man, one of the best things in the world to me is being in the same room with all of the people that I love and the people that love me, because I love quality time. So I'll put together an event with the quickness. I'm a person, I like to celebrate anyways. So all I need is a reason. I put things together. And when I have the event, my love tank is full because all the people that I love are in one place and we're having a good time. So I cultivate what I need. Cultivate what you need. And if you're a person whose love language is gifts, while you're waiting, so you can't make people buy you things, but you can be fulfilled by you communicating that to other people. Find some people to bless and to give to. And I guarantee you, even though your love language is gifts, you yourself will be filled by finding needs that other people have and you filling those needs. Your love tank can be filled until you have a spouse that comes along that will give you gifts and do whatever it is that you need to feel loved. You're not waiting. And again, it is so critical that you learn to do this in your single season so that when you're married, and when, not if, but when, your spouse isn't filling your love tank for whatever reason, it's all good. Your love tank being filled is your responsibility. Oh, that was good. Baby, if you don't get nothing else out of what I say today, your love tank being full is your responsibility. Don't put it on your friends. Don't put it on your spouse. It's your responsibility. What you need is your responsibility. Go get it. Don't make it deep. Don't whine about what you're not getting. Yes, friends and spouses should be doing certain things. But if there's something that you need and you are putting it in the hands of somebody else, baby, you are giving people too much power. Too much power. Go take your power back. Go take your power back and go get what you need. You're not waiting. Not waiting at all. If acts of service is something that blesses you, why don't you go do something for somebody else? Again, I guarantee you, just like with gifts, while you're doing something for somebody else, it will simultaneously fill your tank. Because we're talking kingdom economics here. We're talking kingdom math. In the world, the more you the more you give, the less you have. But it doesn't work like that with kingdom economics. With kingdom economics, the more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more filled you have. And now we're not talking about giving out of an empty place, of course. But I want to challenge your thinking and to stop thinking that you're waiting on this person to come. And for my married ladies, thank you. My married people, thank you for sticking around. You need to get this, because if your spouse isn't meeting your needs for whatever reason, you for a season may need to just excuse them while they're not able to, I'll say figuratively speaking, not pay their bill. You get with God and you get what you need and release them for a season. And you're not releasing them to say you don't deserve these things. You're not releasing them saying I'm just never going to get it. You are releasing them to let that expectation go, to free yourself. Because what happens is when you've got an expectation and it's not being met and not being met and not being met and not being met and not being met, The enemy is beating you over the head, building bitterness and animosity in your heart towards your spouse, and baby, you can't afford that. So for a season, you might need to release your spouse from whatever it is they should be doing. For your sanity's sake, for your peace of mind, release them from that expectation. And you find another way to fill it. And you pray for them and cover them until your spouse gets back around and can give you what you need. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Your love tank is your responsibility. Happiness is your responsibility. If you are single and unhappy, newsflash, when you get married, you will be married and unhappy. Don't put God expectations on a human. If you are single and feeling empty, let me tell you, that is a God-sized hole, not a man-sized hole. And what will happen is you'll get married, and most likely you'll get married in that season where your honeymoon season. And then when the honeymoon season is over with and you come out of the clouds and you are in reality, you will find that you had a gigantic God-sized hole trying to fill it with a man. And then because your expectations are out of order, you'll be like, you're not meeting my needs. You must be wrong. I must have missed it. This is not, can't be the person for me because you're not feeling my need. When you're the one out of order because you had an expectation on a man that should have never been there in the first place, a person cannot make you happy. That is an internal job. That's your responsibility. So don't go into a relationship trying to put that on somebody. Your happiness is your responsibility. Again, if you are unhappy as a single person, baby, you will be unhappy as a married person when you are outside of that honeymoon phase. And then blaming your spouse for it. No, boo, that's on you. I want to give you some word. Oh, I want to give you some word. Philippians 4:4 says that to rejoice in the Lord always. If you keep your sights and your mind on Jesus, you will have joy, regardless of what your circumstances are. Again, if you keep your sight on Jesus, keep your mind on Jesus, you can find a way to be content in whatever circumstances that you have and have joy. Psalm 16:11 tells us that there is fullness of joy in his presence. You can have fullness of joy, regardless of whether or not you've got somebody filling your love tank, honey. You can have fullness of joy, but it's in God's presence. And the last scripture that I want to give you is 1 Peter 1:8-9, and it says, though you have not seen him, you love him. And even though you do not see him now, you believe in him and are filled with an inexpressible and glorious joy. For you are receiving the end result of your faith, the salvation of your souls. You are receiving the end result of your faith. So what are you believing? What are you believing? That's my question here for you at the end. What are you believing? If you believe in his word and that you can have fullness of joy in his presence, regardless of whether or not you are married, regardless of whether or not you have somebody that is filling your love tank for you, you're going to have whatever you have faith in. So what are you believing? My God, I don't know about you, but I just blessed my own self happy today. All right, so listen, before I get up out of here, I want to remind you of a couple of things. So again, Helpmeet Prep Academy is my mentoring program. If you need more of this, boo, let me help you. Whether you're single or married, I got you, boo. Enrollment will be opening for HPA toward the end of this month, and it'll be open for just a few weeks. And it won't open again until the end of the year. Also, I do prophetic coaching online. So if you would like to speak with me one-on-one, just go to my website, drcubeon.com, click on coaching, and you can book an appointment to speak with me one-on-one at your whenever time is convenient for you. I've got my time slots on there. And last but not least, honey, you know how we do. Don't be stingy, boo. Share this out with someone, okay? Now, I love you. Be blessed. Talk to me in the comments. Did I step on some toes today? Did I step on some toes? I know it wasn't necessarily a shouting message, but it was good and it needed to be said. All right, I love you. Be blessed, and I'll see you next week.